Hi there, students. In this video, I wanted to look at two phrases. The first one is for what it is worth, for what it's worth. And the second one, for all you're worth, for all one is worth. The meaning is very different. Let's see. For what it's worth. This is a phrase that you would use when you're giving somebody a piece of advice or a piece of information and you're not certain if it's going to be useful or not. So for what it's worth, the shops are open till 9 p.m. So maybe that'll be useful for you. Yeah, maybe you'll want to go shopping later, or maybe you're going now, and that it's not a problem. For what it's worth, in my opinion, the film is very good. But maybe my opinion is not really very helpful. It's emphasizing your humility. It's saying that you make the judgment, you decide if what I'm saying is actually useful to you or not. And then this phrase, for all you're worth, for all one is worth, means you do something as intensely as you possibly can. You put a lot of effort into it. So he's been studying for all he's worth. So I hope he passes his exam. I pushed that for all my worth. I pushed as hard as I can, to the utmost, to the full extent of my power. I did the absolute utmost I could. Yeah. So for what it's worth, I pushed with all my worth. Okay. So for all I'm worth, to the fullest extent possible. Yeah, as much as I possibly could. Okay, so he ran for all he was worth to catch the bus, and he just made it in time. Yeah, I ran for all I was worth because the lion was behind me. And then for what it's worth, if that's going to help you, maybe that will be useful, whether it's significant or useful or not. So you're giving the listener advice, and you don't know if that's going to be helpful to them or not. So you weren't successful in this interview, but for what it's worth, I would try applying to this company again. Yeah. I really like the colour of your house, for what it's worth. Yeah. So my friend is always really critical about everything. So for what it's worth, I wouldn't pay too much attention to what he said. That's my opinion for what it's worth. Yeah, even though it might not be important, even though it might not be valuable. This is my advice, or this is my opinion for what it's worth. It may be worth nothing. It may not be useful or important to you. Yeah, so it's used to show that the listener may not care, but you're going to say something that you think might be of use to them. And then for all you're worth, you put as much effort as you can into it. You put your utmost, you put your heart and soul into it. You put your to the utmost extent. Whereas for what it's worth, yeah, it's a suggestion. Yeah, you're not making any claim that your suggestion is valid or useful or any good, but it might be, and the person needs to make up their own mind. For what it's worth, I don't think he meant to insult you. I know you're angry about it, but for what it's worth, I don't think that was his intention. For all you're worth, to the full extent, yeah, to the maximum you can. Okay, so for what it's worth, you make up your mind. For all you're worth, with all of your energy, with all of your soul. Yeah. So he played for all he was worth, and he nearly won, but not quite. But for what it's worth, talking about if this is valuable, you need to decide. So let's see, what about formality? For what it's worth, I think I would give a 4 in formality. For all your worth, I think probably another 4 in formality as well. I think these are both, they're both, I would use them in an informal conversation. I think for what it's worth is something that I would use, I think, exclusively in something spoken. For all your worth, for all he's worth, I think you could use it in an informal conversation, in a semi-formal conversation, in a semi-formal writing as well, to say that something is very intense, very vigorous, as much effort as you can. And then the origin, I don't know, for what it's worth, for the value that you might ascribe to it, and for all your worth, for all of the value that you have with all of your strength. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. For what it's worth, for all your worth.